Hello, Michael here on another very challenging, humid day in Penang. So today I want to talk about respect, which is a journey into the balance of reverence and reality. And today, let's explore the virtue of respect, starting with the archetypes of the mirror and the pedestal. Respect from both anthroposophical and evolutionary astrological perspectives. So both of these show respect as a soul gesture, an act of recognition that honors the spiritual becoming of another. It is not merely politeness, but a reverent acknowledgment of the other's path, karma, and inner dignity. At its core, respect is the capacity to see and honor the essence of another without distortion, without projection or erasure, rather than being blind admiration, having blind admiration or passive tolerance. It is an active and ethical presence in relationship. Disregard is respect denied, thus treating others as invisible, irrelevant, or as being beneath notice. All this stems from ego inflation, numbness from trauma, or fear of being challenged. In community and creative expression, voices are disregarded and erased, which flattens diversity and closes pathways to authentic exchange. Respect becomes distorted into idolatry through the elevation of someone or something onto pedestals, making them untouchable, perfect, or controlling. We see this in our own relationships and in society. There's much of it going on these days. Doing so, one loses clarity and autonomy, and one is disempowered as both giver and receiver. Healthy respect acknowledges the sacred or higher aspects of someone or something without losing sight of reality. It honors worth at the same time as maintaining boundaries. It is love with clear eyes, recognizing light and shadow, and strength and limitations, seeing beyond the differences, right? And focusing on the positive in ourselves and in others. In Rudolf Steiner's Anthroposophy, respect is a moral intuition rooted in the recognition of the spiritual individuality, the I, okay, capital I, within each human being. This I is not static, it is evolving through lifetimes, striving toward freedom, love, and moral imagination. Respect arises when we perceive the other not as a role or behavior, not just that, but as a spiritual being in process. It is linked to moral tact, the ability to sense what is appropriate in a given moment, not by rules, but by inner discernment. Steiner emphasized that true education and mentorship must begin with reverence, a soul mood that prepares the ground for moral development. In this view, respect is not earned by achievement, but given freely as a recognition of the divine spark in each person. Respect is reverence for the I, as recognized in the Mayan teaching, you are another I. Similarly, EA sees respect as soul recognition and deeply karmic. Yeah? It reflects our capacity to honor the soul journey of another, especially when their path diverges from our own. EA teaches that each soul is evolving through lifetimes, right? As indicated by Pluto, the soul's desired nature, and the lunar nodes, right? The karmic past and evolutionary future. Respect means allowing others to follow their own evolutionary trajectory, even when it challenges our values or triggers our wounds. EA emphasizes dignity as a soul quality, not social status, but the integrity of being, true to one's evolutionary intent. Respect is the willingness to see the soul behind the mask, to honor the archetypal forces shaping another's life without judgment or interference. This resonates with unconditional forgiveness. And legacy is legacy as service. Respect, in the eyes of both anthroposophy and EA, is not passive. It is an active choice to witness without control, to support without possession, and thus respect is a transformative gesture, a spiritual act that affirms freedom. It affirms dignity and becoming. These two streams hold respect as the precondition for moral education, the foundation for karmic healing and soul growth. In both anthroposophy and EA, the planets are not just celestial bodies out there. They are archetypal forces shaping the soul's journey. Respect in this context is the soul's capacity to honor these planetary influences in oneself and in others as sacred, as evolving expressions of spiritual will. And both streams invite us to see planetary forces not as fate, but as spiritual invitations. Respect becomes a moral gesture, according to anthroposophy, that honors the planetary archetypes as guides for ethical development. EA invites us to see the karmic recognition that affirms each soul's unique relationship to these archetypes. In Rudolf Steiner's cosmology, each planet corresponds to a stage in cosmic evolution and a moral quality that humanity must cultivate. Respect arises when we recognize these planetary archetypes not as abstract symbols, but as the realms of living spiritual beings influencing our inner development. In this light, the sun is recognized as the I. Respect begins with reverence for the divine individuality in each person. In regards to respect, we'll look at several other planetary impulses. The moon relates to memory and rhythm. In this light, respect honors the past and the soul's cyclical growth. Mercury relates to communication and moral tact. Respect is the art of speaking truth with sensitivity. Venus calls for harmony and love, and respect is the aesthetic and moral appreciation of another's soul beauty. Through Mars, we have courage and will. And respect thus includes allowing others to act with autonomy and strength. Right? Jupiter gives wisdom and expansion. Respect is the recognition of another's evolving worldview. The Sanskrit ahamkara, the Hindu principle of I-making is expressed in the Saturnian determining of boundaries and karma. Respect is the honoring of limits, time, and the weight of destiny. We can recognize that in ourselves and in others. Now, a main difference of anthroposophy and EA is these planetary beings are seen as consisting of spiritual hierarchies through anthroposophy, and their influences are not generalized as abstract energies, but as consciousnesses teaching us how to become free moral beings. In the EA, the planets are karmic agents guiding the soul's evolution across lifetimes. So respect here is the soul's willingness to honor the planetary lessons in others without judgment or control. You can see how both of these streams are very complementary to each other. Pluto represents the soul's deepest evolutionary intent and the deepest compulsions. Respect means allowing others to transform at their own pace. The moon's nodes relate to past and future karma, the doorways through which we are birthed. Yeah. Respect is the compassionate grace to let others, carry their own karmic burdens. Uranus gives the impulses for liberation and individuation. Respect is the freedom to be radically oneself and for others to be radically themselves. Neptune is the archetype of compassion and dissolution. Respect is the surrendered ego in service to unity. I will add Chiron, okay? This is our wounding, healing, and how we heal ourselves and others. Respect is the acknowledgment of pain and the process of moving through wounding to healing, is the ground for growth through the activities of Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, which then lead us to the higher evolved expressions of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. The beginning of any development starts with interest. Ultimately, one develops reverence for the world. We respect ourselves and others because we have reverence for the principles that are held and the actions that reflect higher principles. I'll end here. So, please like below, and I'd love to read your thoughts about respect or any other of the virtues we've explored, or any other topic that you would like to have addressed. Yeah. Also, please subscribe at midnightpoint.com, and there you'll also find activities listed related to the theme of respect. Okay? And I will see you next time. Okay, take care.